Just getting started with our daily routine for the day, and the student is at the desk right now.
I am not a student, I am your daughter.
I know me and my wife made the mutual decision not to send Makenzie back out, even with the schools reopening. It's just, the safety aspect. Granted that a lot of parents had to make the hard decision to send their child back to school because they have to go to work. Single parents who can't afford daycare, it's a struggle across the board. I also thank God for my wife because she's really the one who spearheaded the schooling,
It is Sunday, and I am in the process of grading Makenzie's work from the previous week. We use a program called Time for Learning, and we try to turn it around so I can show you.
Now, we are doing homeschooling, not the virtual. So this is strictly on us. We're her teachers. Yeah, so we're teaching her lesson as she goes. The math, the science, and the language arts, and the reading, and so on. At that aspect, yeah, we are her teachers right now. We don't have any contact with the virtual portion of the school. That we inquired about it, but we felt like this would probably be the better way for her. My wife did the setup, and when she's not here, I take over to help her in her lesson and get her caught up for the day, and then vice versa. We swap out. Like I said, we've set up an area in our formal dining room as the school setting, to try to engage her into to knowing that, hey, this is school now. These grades count.
It can get stressful, especially if mom forgets to write out the lesson plans for her and dad for the week. So sometimes I forget. Sometimes I'm like, oh, she got to do spelling today. I'm calling from work. I'm like, I forgot to put it on the board. So that is one of the struggles. Is definitely the time management that comes along with homeschooling and making sure that your lesson plans are together, making sure you are in compliance with your state regulations and laws.
Well, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning over here, East Coast time. I am up on my way out the door, but before I go out the door, I'm trying to make sure that Makenzie and Marlin have no issues during homeschooling today.
We usually like to give her in between assignments. When she take a break, maybe like a 15-minute break, and then we'll let her get the iPad, do a little thing. We set the timer. Okay, boom, timer's off. Let's get back to work. So a little incentive, we give her little breaks and every night in between things. So she's just not feeling the straight rush of everything she got to do all at once. So yeah, I can definitely say that we noticed, some things that we hadn't noticed because, like I say, we get it from the teachers. And it's their version of what they see, versus us actually seeing it for ourselves firsthand. So I think that's an advantage that we have now with her. My daughter, she likes to rush. And we tell her, look, you don't have to rush. Take your time, read through it, and, try to understand. So we do think that an area that she is trying to get better in and she's needing some help is the comprehension, reading. Trying to comprehend what she's reading, understanding what she's doing. By her being home now, and we're actively their teacher, we recognize that by just what the answers to some of the things she's putting down. I could just see how where her answers correspond with what she's read don't match up, and we know why. It's because, like I say, she's probably really not understanding what she's reading. So that's where we're working with her as well now. It's just like the one-on-one. It's a learning process, and she would have to go through it in class, I'm assuming. So, but like I said, the way things are going now, we actually realize it firsthand by her being here. So that's just one of the things that, she will get better at with some practice. Because I say she do speak pretty much fluent Mandarin.
I think Mandarin because they do a lot of I say, you say. So when they do the I say, you say, it's right up her learning style because she's a verbal learner. You know, she learns by hearing. So I think it plays right into what exactly what that she needs as a learner.
是我的好朋友。你是我的好朋友。
It's amazing to me how she picked this up. I walked past the door and I looked at my wife. I'm like, what are they talking about? I have no clue. they seem so happy. I have no clue. I can't decode that. So she has the capacity. I'm not worried about that. She's smart as a whip. She just you got to slow it down a little bit. Pump your brakes.
找呀找呀找朋友，找到一个好朋友，几个里握握手，你是我的好朋友。